Number 8 is base plate. This is a fun one, in my opinion. Um, so there's a few things that we're going to build off of, and a few things we're going to learn today. So we haven't talked about polygons, inscribed or circumscribed polygons. We're going to go over a few more complex constraints. And this drawing is labeled in fractions of an inch. And that's great if you're using a ruler because you might be more comfortable using fractions. But Onshape uses decimals. And I know that sometimes it can be confusing to convert one to the other. Half inch, quarter inch might be all set, but 9/16, 1/8 of an inch, 5/8, 7/8, we're going to go over that. So, first, you need to create a document. And when I'm looking at this, I'm breaking it down. There's a triangle, right? We can see that triangle, but there's a triangle in there that we cannot see. See this circle that's labeled 4.5 inches? That's what we're going to draw first. And not only are we going to draw that circle, we are going to draw a triangle within that circle, which will bring us to inscribed versus circumscribed polygons. So I have a document, and I start a sketch. Over here next to arc, right before spline, is the polygon tool. There are inscribed polygon and circumscribed polygons. When we create the size of a polygon, we need the radius or diameter. We need a circle. And inscribed means that that circle is on the inside of the shape, while circumscribed means that it's on the outside. So I'm going to draw really quickly. This is just, I'm getting ahead of myself. How do you draw polygons? Let's choose to draw an inscribed polygon first, just as a demonstration. You click where it starts, you drag out the size. Hexagon is the standard starter, and you can see that there are a few little snaps, but I can choose to make it wherever I want to. I'm going to snap right here, and now I have not moved my mouse, and it says 6. If I move my mouse to the left, I'm going to have less size. If I move it to the right, I'm going to have more. To the left, it'll go down to 3. It'll go up to 50, I believe. Let's say you accidentally do 12 when you wanted 11. You can always double click on that and change it. I'm going to change this to 3 because we are drawing a triangle. So see here that circles on the inscribed. This is an inscribed polygon. We want to draw a circumscribed polygon and make that circle that you see right now 4.5 inches. So I'm going to delete all of this. Circumscribed polygon. Ooh, I want this to go the other way. Control Z. Nope, too far. So that line that I dragged down, I want to drag up. 3 sides. That's good. Now, this doesn't have a particular size yet. I want it to be 4.5. Dimension, click on that circle. 4.5 is an easy one, 4.5. I also should make this a construction line, so I'm going to click on construction and click on these. It's too late. If you do construction line before me, it'll help. So I have a triangle. Now I need to draw these points, these arcs, and some lines. If I draw one, and that other arc, it's going to make the rest of them a lot easier. I'm going to use constraints on a lot of these. So I'm going to start with a circle and start it at that point. How big? 9/16. This is where it's tricky. So it's asking me for the size. You might know 9/16 off the top of your head. You might look at a decimal equivalency chart. But since we're using a computer, I can type 9 divided by 16, and it gives me the number. Just like that. I'm going to draw another one and another one. I don't care about the size right now because I'm going to use the equal constraint. This circle up top is constrained to a size. I just click the other ones, and it makes them all smaller. Well, it makes them all the same size. What should we do next? Next, let's do one of these arcs up top. I want to use a center point arc because it starts at the center of this, the point of the triangle, rather. And I'm going to kind of guess where that starts and ends, but I want it to go most of the way around. It's going to stop around there because there's going to be a line, so I'm going to make it a bit farther. What's the size of it? Down here it says 5/8 radius. Well, I don't happen to know 5/8 off the top of my head, so type 5 divided by 8. Enter. I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to be careful to not lock into any lines anywhere. I just want it free floating. Again, I'm going to go back to the equal constraint. And do that. All right. Whoa. I need a circle in the middle. That 1 1/8 says it's centered on here, and then it's 1 1/8 from the bottom. I'm going to tell you right now, it's just centered in the whole thing. So I'm going to use my center point. The size is 2 1/4 diameter. Cool. I'm going to delete this triangle. We're done with it. We've used it, but we don't need anything else from it. So I want these to stay still. You see how they turned blue? It means they're no longer constrained. I'm going to come up here, and there's a fixed constraint. Should work. Yep, I have to click on the center point. That's why. And now everything's good. All right, I need to add lines. And these lines, they say run 30 degrees, and they are what's called tangent to these circles. I don't really care about the angle. All I care about is that they are tangent to these arcs. Whoa, hold on. There we go. I'm going to click line, and I'm just going to drop it out in space. Again, I'm going to use constraints to finish it. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see it. The one that I care about is tangent. Click on the line, click on the arc. It shifts it down. Now I need to make a tangent over here as well. And boom, it's done. I'm going to draw 2 more lines. Do that same thing. I'm just going to press the letter T on my keyboard because that brings up the tangent constraint. All right, we are getting close to the end. There's one more constraint that we're going to use. It's going to finish it off, basically. But let me show you the old school way of how we would do this. I want this line to end where this line and this arc intersect, and I want them both to end right there, right? I need it to look just like that. Old school way is using trim. I trim away that extra, and then I trim away this, and then I trim away that. All right, it works, but let's use a faster way. Back in constraints, I want coincident. I still don't know how to pronounce it. See how this point ends the arc and the line at the same time? I want this point and this point to be in the same spot. I want them to be coincident. So I'll click on that, done. Zoom out, zoom in on another corner. I want this line and this line, this line and this line, this point and this point rather, this point and this point. And that's it. That's done. So we have used an inscribed polygon. Nope, rather a circumscribed polygon because the circle that we used to size it was on the outside. We've used equal constraints. We've used a fixed constraint, coinciding constraints, tangent constraints. A lot has been here. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can choose to draw this a different way if you want to. Excuse me. But I believe the constraints are a lot easier, make you a lot faster. And that's what we're shooting for here, just speed and efficiency while using a CAD program. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.